Happy Monday, everybody. We're going to be continuing our learning from the previous 3 weeks of closure. As we move forward, we're going to be using Google Classroom, a website called Numerade, and other resources to support your learning. And so it's important that you feel confident and understand all the pieces that are there as resources to support you. So I'm going to share my screen, and as I do that, you are going to be able to see what your assignments might look like. So to begin with, when you log in, you're going to go to your stream. On your stream are resources, like I have shown in the past, as well as new assignments. When you click on these new assignments, you'll see this instruction page, which will show you the directions for what that assignment will need or what that assignment will entail. It's important that you read those directions before you then click on any of the documents that are here. For the first day tomorrow, we are going to be looking at, we'll be looking at Unit 5, Day 1. And so you'll see directions that look something like this, that you need to watch a video, that you need to complete the Google Slides, and then complete 2 different COLs as the Google Forms. These are related to the work that you did in the 3 weeks prior to spring break. So it's important that if you have not caught up in any of those particular assignments, that you do so right away. That way you can then engage in these Google Forms. The slides are new each day, and so it does not require that you've done those previous 3 weeks. You can jump right into that work. And that's where the main part of most of the work each day is going to be. So if we click on this, this is the basic format of a Google slide. It looks like one of my papers, except broken up into half-size sheets, and it has a lot of boxes. Wherever there's a box that you can click on is something that you can type in. Most of the things that you're going to be doing are going to be just typing things into boxes related to the work that's there. So you'll type in your name, you'll type in your cohort. If you can't get this little blinking cursor, try clicking twice and then move the cursor so that it's along the way. Each of these boxes is a place where you can type in an answer based off of the problem. And it's important that you read the directions carefully to understand what to do. On slide 2, you'll see that there is a space for a more extended response, as well as numbers on a number line. And so you can read the directions to see what you need to do for each of those. One other thing before we talk about some of the symbols that you're going to be seeing throughout the lessons, there will be occasionally a time when I need to see your actual work. And so you would do it on a separate sheet of paper. Any paper is fine. And then you would insert an image of that work. There are multiple ways that you can do that. You can take a picture of it with your phone, and then you can send it to your email address and download it onto your computer. And then you can click Insert and Upload from the computer. You can also send it directly to me if you're having trouble with getting it onto your computer. Or you can lift up the piece of paper once you click on camera. I'm not going to be able to do it because I'm using the camera right now, but normally you would be able to do that, and then you can lift up your piece of paper and click on the little camera symbol, and it will take a picture of it right away, and it will insert it for you. And then you can resize it so that it's the same height as the box that's here, and so that it's not squished or stretched. I'm just keeping the size, make it big enough so I can see it, but without distorting the image. All right, so let's go back to the first slide because this has a lot of important pieces to it. So the first slide that you'll see talks about a legend of symbols, meaning symbols that you're going to see all throughout the lessons that are very important for the work that we do. The first is this diamond. This diamond does not mean the same thing as the diamonds that we've done in the past. This diamond means one of 2 things. Either it means that the problem that you're doing will give you immediate feedback once you're done with that problem, or if the problem is something that you're getting stuck on, that you're confused by, you can get that feedback as an example from me. And so let's say that you've finished everything on the first page. Some of it you're not entirely confident on, or maybe you are. You're going to click down on the first slide that has highlights on it. In this case, that's slide 3. and it says answers and further guidance on the diamond questions from slide 1. So that's where we were before. You can look at do now 1 and you can see what the answer was supposed to be. You can look at do now 3 and see what the answers were supposed to be. And if you got them right, then you have that feedback that you're on the right track. If you got them wrong or you were confused, this should give you enough guidance that you can go back and then answer the rest of the questions on your own. And that's the same for slide 2, that there will be answers for parts of it and not for all of it. That way you can do some of the work for yourself after using that as an example. All right, so let's take a look at the next symbol. So the next symbol in our legend is this link of chains. The link of chains means that occasionally in the Google Slides, I'm going to link you to another document, and that document will have some type of resource to support you. So when you're doing lesson 2, which is on Thursday of this week, you'll have some definitions that you can look up to help to support your work, and it's important that you click on that because it will ask you to do so at some point. The next is the play button. So this looks like a kind of a video. You can click on the gray box and there's a link to a video. Most of the videos are going to be posted on a website called Numerade. Numerade is not something that we've used in the past, but it is something where I've gotten like a secondary job supporting students with math needs all throughout the country. And there's a office hours space there where I can post any videos, and so I will have a lot of videos there. The one thing you'll need to know, and I'll mention it tomorrow and show how to go through that process, is you will need to sign up when you go to Numerade for the first time. It asks you for your name, first and last, your email address, and up to create a password. That's it. It's free for you, and the links will always bring you directly to whichever video you need, but you will need to sign up first. And the last symbol that you're going to see quite a bit is the examples being read to you symbol. So this little microphone, if you click on that and you click here, it will bring you into a Google Drive audio file that I've done from my phone, and it will have example 2. So there we go. So it will have the reading from a certain, whatever problem that little microphone is next to, and you can click on it, click play, and then go back to the original slide. That way you can read along as I read out loud. You can do this if you just want to hear my voice reading a problem, or if you are having trouble understanding the text. Maybe it's a complicated text and you haven't learned some of those vocabulary words. It could be helpful to hear that audio file. So those are some of the resources. Day 2 is very similar. You'll have the do now, where you'll put your name and cohort and then answer some of the questions. You'll move on to the lesson, which is going to be a snapshot of a lesson later on. Slide 3 will also have a piece of something which you may or may not understand how to do, and it's okay if you're a little bit confused. It'll make a lot more sense once you get to that lesson. This is just a practice, get a little sense of how you're doing. And then you'll see that there are some answers again at the bottom from slides 1 and 2. One thing that's a little bit different about this particular problem is that there is annotation. We want to practice looking at a text and finding something that's important. And so there will be times when the text you can't click on, but there will be other times when you can actually click on the text. And so if you double click on it, it will highlight everything. And you can underline the important text, or you can highlight the important text. And you'll notice that some of the text is not there. That's because it was actually in the background. So if it doesn't show up, you can unhighlight that part of it. So there we go. So it highlighted deposit and into. You could also do the same thing for bank account, but you'll notice that in my example here, I did not do that. And that's because bank account doesn't tell you anything about what type of number you're dealing with. It only tells you context. And so when you're doing this highlighting, it mentions keywords. It's important you choose the words that are most important to the type of integer rather than just important words in the story. And again, if this is confusing to you, it's okay to just do your best on this problem. And then when we grade it at the end of the week, you can get some feedback on how you did. All right, so let's look at a couple more pieces and then we'll close out. So the next thing I wanted to talk about was the assignment matrix. And so if you click on, this will be linked multiple places. So you should have access to this document multiple places, but you'll see down in math, it tells you what the name of each day is. So today was day 1 in Monday, tomorrow will be day 2, then the next day, Wednesday, will be lesson 1, and then lesson 2 on Thursday. Each of the days will have a variety of different resources. So they will almost always have Google Slides plus a video that's either linked within it or maybe in addition to it. And each of them will have 1 or 2 Google Forms. Today, you'll have 2 because they are quizzes or COLs related to your cumulative homework from the first 3 weeks, as well as your workbook assignments. And so you'll have 2 of them today and 1 of them tomorrow. If you get a little bit behind, that's okay. You can get caught up the very next day. Just make sure you don't get too far behind because it can be very hard to get caught up on all of the different pieces. It's important that you take your time and you keep up each day of the week. And at the end of the week on Fridays, you will be given answer keys to anything that was not a diamond question. That way you can go back and make fixes to things and learn from any mistakes that you made. It may not be just answers for everything, but it will be guidance to make sure that you'll be able to find the answer to each thing on your own. And then there may be an option to take a COL as practice. I haven't decided yet whether we'll go through with that or not. I'll let you know by the end of this week whether that will be an option for those of you who are ahead and want to get a head start on the COLs. Finally, there will be another video related to the Google Forms. So if you are getting stuck when it comes to the Google Forms, or you just want to make sure that you're doing everything correctly, please make sure that you do that. Google Forms will be submitted by the end. Google Slides will be completed, and then I will be able to go back and look at your work since it will be shared to me. If I need you to do anything else, I will let you know by making an announcement on the Google Classroom. And that leads us to the final piece for today, etiquette. It is really important that we support one another in our work. And the best way we can do that is that the things that go on the Google Classroom, on our stream here, are one of 3 things. So aside from what I put on there, I'm expecting students to post on here one of these 3 things. Questions, if you're getting stuck or need some clarification for anything at all, please feel free to post those questions here so that we can then support each other. 2, comments, either from me or from other classmates. If you have a response that can help someone to answer that question that someone had, then you can write a comment to support their questions. 3, we can leave appreciation, thankfulness for the questions that people are asking and their bravery in doing so, or the comments that people are leaving to help them. Like if I gave a response or another student gave a response to a question and that was helpful, we can give thanks both if we're the person who made the question, as well as for other people who appreciate that someone was supporting our community. We will not do any other types of social media like comments or posts on here. That's not what this particular format is for. So if that does happen, then they will be removed. That way we can focus this particular place on our learning and our appreciation for people supporting our learning. If you have any questions, I will be doing my office hours today and Wednesday from 10:45 to 11:45 through Zoom. So please feel free to join me if you need any support today or Wednesday. And then tune in for the next video. Each day there will be one. All right, bye. Have a good day.